Hello, hi, good morning everyone and welcome to IELTS Speaking Eloquence. This is me, 𝐀𝐻𝐿𝐬 from the 𝐂𝐚𝐫𝐭𝐞𝐝 Academy. So yes, I'm back with another part 2 and part 3 discussion for you guys along with the sample answers. So yes, throughout this live session, we'll be looking into how you have to attend one cue card as well as answer a couple of opinion-based questions for the part 3 too. So I'll be showing you some sample answers so you'll get an idea about how this can be executed. Okay, so I'll show you a cue card first and then I'll be giving you 1 minute time. So at that time you can go through the card like usually how you would be doing it at your preparation time. So make sure that you go through the point and brainstorm ideas, get a topic that you need to discuss, and okay, you can think about the vocabulary and the phrases or the grammatical structures that you're going to use there, so you can plan everything out. After that, I'll be showing you my sample answers, so in which there will be a lot of good words. Okay, so you need to make a note of the vocabulary that you find attractive and you find useful, which can be suited in almost all type of context. Make sure you note it down and you try to understand and be familiarized with the concept. Next time when you are doing a one-to-one session, try to incorporate and include these words and see whether it is coming natural to you. Okay, so always remember, whatever you're learning, whatever things that you have memorized, it shouldn't sound scripted. It shouldn't sound like, yeah, you have by hearted it or memorized it. Okay, it should sound very natural. It should merge with your normal level of conversation as well. So you need that practice, for which you need to be familiarized with the concept. You need to know, okay, if this is a word, what are the different contexts I can put it into? What are the different usages? What are the different synonyms I can use for this word? Be completely familiarized with this particular vocabulary and then try to see whether it can be suited in the different contexts. Okay, see whether it is easily coming to you. Okay, so yes, that's the first thing we'll be doing. After that, we'll be discussing the opinion-based questions. I'll be showing you the sample answers for that as well. Okay, so yes, good morning everyone. So without wasting much time, let's start with the live segment. So over to the screen, you'll be able to see the cue card, and remember, you have 1 minute time to prepare it. Alright, welcome back everyone. So let's start with the discussion. So let's read this cue card together and see what is the context here. Okay, and we can see what are the points that we have to elaborate and expand, and what is the main topic that you have to describe here. So let's read this together. Describe something that you did with someone or a group of people. So it has to be something that you did with one person or with a group of people. So the first thing you have to say is what it was. Obviously, you have to explain what that point that you have done with one person or with a group of people. So before you get into what topic it could be, the best thing you can think about is whether you're going to talk about a thing that you have done with someone, like with a person, or with a group of people. Okay, so this is the first thing you should be thinking about. And after that, you should think about, okay, what it was and who you did it with, how long it took you to do this. That means you need to talk about the time, the duration, and explain why you did it together. Okay, maybe with one person or with a group of people. So now let's get into the sample answer. So this is how I'm going to start with my introduction. This is going to be my introductory paragraph in this case. So let's read this one by one. Okay, so I hope it is entirely visible for you guys. I'll just realign the page for you. Just give it a second. Okay, so I hope it's visible right now. So let's start reading together. One of the most memorable activities I did with a group of friends. So yes, here I'm trying to convey my point, or the event or the thing that I've done is with a group of people. So I had two options. It could be with one person, with someone, or with a group of people. So I actually chose the second one, with a group of friends. So in the first line itself, I am making it clear. Okay, and how did I start my opening statement? One of the most memorable activities I did. Okay, so now let me take you back to the question. The question is, describe something that you did. Okay, so it can be an activity, it can be an event, it can be something like a class that you did together, maybe like a learning lesson. Okay, so whatever it might be. So I just started this conversation something by like this. Okay, by an opening statement like this. One of the most memorable activities I did with a group of friends was organizing a charity event to raise funds for a local animal shelter. Okay, so I just explained what it was in my first sentence. We had been planning this event for several weeks, and the anticipation of making a difference in our community kept us all excited. So in the second line, I'm explaining how long it took us to do it. Okay, so we had been planning this event for several weeks, and the anticipation of making a difference in our community kept us all excited. Okay, so what do you mean by the word anticipation? The expectation? Okay, so when you have to say, yeah, we expected that we would make a huge difference in the society based on what we have planned to do, because that is a really good reform, or that's a really good moment that comes from our end. So yes, you can use this word there. Okay, so this is how my opening statement would look like. This is how my opening paragraph is going to sound like. One of the most memorable activities I did with a group of friends was organizing a charity event to raise funds for a local animal shelter. We had been planning this event for several weeks, and the anticipation of making a difference in our community kept us all excited. Now let's look at the second point. This event took place on a Saturday morning. I'm going to give more details about what this event was and when it took place and what was the point in it. So it took place on a Saturday morning. And remember my tense. This is an event that happened in the past. So yes, I'll be using the past tense, right? So the event took place on a Saturday morning. Some students always tend to make a mistake with the tense there, grammatical tense. So when they're asking you about something that already passed or something that took place in the past, remember you have to use the past tense. Please do not mix it up. I've seen a lot of students personally who kind of like mix up the grammar tense, and you will lose a lot of score there. So please make sure your tense is accurate. So here I'm talking about something that already happened in the past. So yes, I have to use the past tense. The event took place on a Saturday morning. We all gathered at the town hall. Again, we all gathered. Past tense. We all gathered at the town hall, our designated location. So town hall was the designated location to set up our stalls and decorations. Each of us had different responsibilities. Some managed the food stall, others organized games and activities, while a few handled the donation booth. So I'm giving an overview about the entire charity event, like how the duties and responsibilities were split up. Okay, so I'm giving an idea about each of us had different responsibilities, and then I'm elaborating that. Some managed the food stall. Some were in charge of the food stall. Others organized games and activities, while a few handled the donation booth. You need to know that all these three concepts are the same, like even if the food stall, even if it's a games and activities, or even if it's the donation booth, all these things are controlled or managed and organized. But you can see the verbs I have used here to describe all these things, okay? Modify all these points. The first point is food stall, I used managed. Second one is games and activities, so something needs a coordination, so I use the word organized. And another one is donation booth, so I use the word handled. Okay, so all these three things or three words, these all mean the similar thing. However, I chose not to repeat the word. So this is how you need to plan your speaking test. Do not repeat the word unnecessarily. And make sure you have good vocabulary skill set as well, so you can see the different context that's been explained without any repetition there. Okay, so now let's move on to the next point. Our charity event featured various activities. So I'm going to give in detail or more detail about how the charity event was carried out. So the first point I'm going to say is, our charity event featured various activities. That means there were multiple activities, including a bake sale, face painting, and a pet adoption booth. So I'm pinpointing, or I am picking out each of the activities that were carried out during the charity event. It included a bake sale, face painting, and a pet adoption booth. We decorated the venue with colorful banners and posters to attract more visitors. As the day progressed, or later that day, could be another usage here. So as the day progressed, as the time passes, as the day progressed, people from the community began arriving. Yes, we got more visitors. And the atmosphere was filled with joy and a shared sense of purpose. Sense of purpose, that means you are doing it for a purpose. So everyone who gathered there, they were very happy, and also they had the sense of purpose. Like they knew that they were doing this for a good deed, or for a good result, for a good cause. Okay, so that is when you can use this usage, sense of purpose. When you're doing something for a good deed, like you're expecting something, if that is a purposeful event, yes, you can use this. So this is how I'm going to detail more about the event, like what it was, what are the different categories in that, how it was carried out, who were in charge of what, and things like that. So when you go through all these points, you can get an overview about an expansion to each of the sub-points given on my cue card. Okay, so now let's see how I'll be giving more details about it. The highlight of the event was a talent show in which local performers showcased their skills. We cheered them on and enjoyed the diverse performances. So I'm saying the event was made colorful with the talent show, which was done or which was performed by the local performers. So there was a lot of different skill set that's been shown. So there was a diverse performances. Okay, so that's how I'm going to expand the next point. The highlight, that means the main part or the main attraction. Okay, so you can say the highlight of the event was a talent show in which local performers showcased their skills. We cheered them on. We cheered them on and enjoyed the diverse performances. We also had a raffle draw with exciting prizes. Okay, these are all the activities that took place, or these are all the activities that was a part of the charity show or the adoption drive. Okay, so we also had a raffle draw with exciting prizes, which added to the excitement and helped raise additional funds. Okay, so this is how I'm giving more details or insights about the event. What were the categories or what made that event more colorful and what was the highlight of the event. The next phrase, throughout the day. So earlier we saw as the day progressed. So now I'm using throughout the day. That means as the entire day or throughout the entire day. So throughout the day, we took turns managing different activities. So earlier we saw that there were some people who were in charge of the stall, who were in charge of the booth. Okay, so we splitted the work responsibilities. And now I'm saying throughout the day, we took turns managing different activities. So it was not just one person's job. It was completely a cooperated one, like everyone took turns, ensuring everything ran smoothly. We interacted with attendees, shared information about the shelter, and encouraged them to adopt pets or donate. So, the main thing that we did is, besides handling everything or managing each responsibility which was given to us, we also interacted with the attendees, whoever came for the function. We shared information about the shelter and we encouraged them to adopt pets or donate. You see the verbs I used? Interacted, shared, encouraged. So you should be knowing the correct verb like this to explain the event or explain some action that you have done. Okay? Avoid repetitions. The collective effort, that means we all did it together, right? So the collective effort paid off as we managed to raise a significant amount for the shelter. So that collective effort literally paid off. Okay, so everyone was together in it. Everyone put a lot of effort. Everyone managed everything. They took turns. So the collective effort, okay, it literally paid off as we managed to raise a significant amount for the shelter. That means it was a good amount. In the evening, so again I'm giving a time frame. In the evening, as the event drew to a close. Okay, so as the event drew to a close, so when you have to say that something was coming to an end, or it was end of a function, or we were wrapping it up, you can say as the event drew to a close, we gathered to count the donations and reflect on our efforts. Reflect on our efforts, which means we were thinking or we were discussing with each other whether it was successful or not, and reflect on our efforts. We were exhausted but immensely satisfied. Yes, it was quite exhausting because it was a whole day, an entire day thing. So, yes, we were exhausted, but immensely satisfied. But we were very satisfied. So, we usually say very satisfied. So, instead of that word, you can use immensely to a great extent. Okay, so we were immensely satisfied with what we had accomplished together. What we have done together is an usual way of explaining this point. So instead of done, you can say accomplished together. It was heartwarming to see. Heartwarming means it was pleasant. It was very close to the heart. It made us all happy. It was a very peaceful sight. Okay, so it was heartwarming to see how our teamwork and dedication had come to fruition. Okay, so that means it was a very successful event. Beyond expectation, everything went well. So you can give an expectation, or we can give an explanation like this. It was heartwarming to see how our teamwork and dedication had come to fruition. Okay, so this is how my sample answer would look like. So I hope you guys got an idea about how to explain this point and the different usages, the different words and verbs that we have used in this one to expand the ideas. So I hope you got an idea about that. Okay, now let's look at how we are going to conclude this. On the final day after the event, we visited the animal shelter to hand over the donations and spend some time with the animals. Seeing the positive impact of our work reinforced our commitment. Reinforced is a very strong word. So reinforced our commitment to helping the shelter and its residents. Overall, the charity event was an unforgettable experience. We did it together because we wanted to contribute to a cause we deeply cared about and strengthen our bonds as friends. The event allowed us to connect with our community, work as a team, and create lasting memories. So that's my concluding line. Okay, we'll read that concluding line one more time. Overall. So I'm saying as a whole, okay, comparing everything together. So overall, the charity event was an unforgettable experience. It was a beautiful experience. I cannot forget it. We did it together because we wanted to contribute to a cause we deeply cared about. Okay, we all cared about it, so we deeply cared about. And strengthen our bonds as friends. The event allowed us to connect with our community, work as a team, and create lasting memories. So this is a very neat concluding line. Okay, so this is the entire explanation for this cue card. I hope it is clear to you guys. And you guys, please make sure that you note the vocabulary that might come handy for you guys, that might enhance your proficiency level, and it will be easy for you to convey the message and use these words naturally. Okay, so make sure you have noted all the underlined words that I have shown here. So as and when I was progressing with each slide, I made sure that I've underlined the ones which I find interesting, the way it is constructed. So make sure you guys also note all these words and try to incorporate that into your one-to-one sessions. Okay, so now let's proceed to the next one. This is part 3, and you have a couple of questions with the sample answers. So let's look at the first question. How do you get along with your neighbors? How do you get along with your neighbors? So yes, many people will have different opinion to it, because some people, they live in fast moving cities, and in cities as compared with kind of like urban areas, we do not get to talk to our neighbors much. If you are living in an apartment or a flat, barely you get to see others, or it's not necessary that you might have a good neighborhood relationship. But for some people, they live in a very lovely environment. So you would have different opinions to this. You would have different points to add to this. It would be different from everyone. So let's look at what my sample answer is. I have a very good relationship with my neighbors, as I have known them for more than 20 years now. It almost feels like they are part of our family now, as we spend a lot of time at each other's place. We support each other during both good and bad times. Sometimes I think that our neighbors play a more important role in our lives as compared to our relatives. So this is my sample answer. Okay, I have good neighborhood. I know them for a very long time. We spend time with each other. We celebrate festivities together, or we help each other when there are some functions in each other's house, or we are there together for every good and bad time. Okay, so this is how my sample answer will look like for the question, how do you get along with your neighbors? So now let's look at the second question. How do neighbors help each other? So this is kind of like an expansion from the first answer we just saw. So we need to detail how the neighbors can help each other. So let's read the sample answer together. Neighbors can help each other in a variety of ways, such as by lending tools or household items, watching each other's homes when one is away, assisting with household repairs or projects, offering to take care of pets or children, and sharing gardening or cooking tips. So there are a lot of things. So these are just few things that I have picked up. Okay, there is something beyond the materialistic help that they can provide for us, which is called the mental help or the emotional support. So you can mention that point too. Okay, so my neighbors, they always are there around with me. So if there is a function at my home, they do every chores and they take active participation in it as if it is a function at their own house. So you can mention that point. We see that, right? We see that in the neighborhood, so you can easily use that point there. Emotional support, another point, like if I'm low, if there is an issue at my house, or is there anything that I cannot deal with, or if there is a problem that I have to face, I'm pretty sure that I won't be alone because my neighbors always stand with me. They always support me. They provide the encouragement. They provide the emotional support that I require. We can explain these points. So this is how my answer is going to look like. They may also look out for one another's safety and well-being and provide emotional support during difficult times, the point that we just see, okay, that we just discussed right now. Additionally, neighbors may work together to improve the community through volunteerism and organizing neighborhood events. Yeah, there are multiple things. Okay, so if you want, you can add examples like if there is a marriage or if there is a wedding function going on. Yes, the neighbors would definitely take part in it. But there are some neighbors who won't, so you can explain with an example if your neighbors are very helpful. So if you have an explanation or an example that you can discuss to show how good or what help they would do for you or what extent they would go for you, yes, you may please feel free to do that. Now let's look at the next one. Do you think neighbors help each other more often in the countryside than in the city? This is also a pretty interesting question, right? And I'm pretty sure most of us would have a very similar answer for this question. Do you think neighbors help each other more often in the countryside than in the city? It's possible that neighbors may help each other more often in rural or suburban areas compared to urban areas. The reason being that in rural or suburban areas, neighbors may have a greater sense of community and may be more likely to know each other personally. and therefore be more likely to offer help when needed. Additionally, in rural and suburban areas, people may have more opportunities to interact with each other, such as while working on shared projects or participating in community events. So yes, compared to the busy city life, people get more time to interact with the neighbors. So when you are living in a city, you hardly get time. It's very rare because of the job that we do, because of the things that we have to do for ourselves. We barely get to see our neighbors. They would be engaged in their own activities. But when it comes to very village-like areas or a very suburban or rural areas, people have a sense of belonging to each other. Okay, so they do each chores together. Maybe if they are into farming, they all are together to do the farming, so they get a lot of time to talk with each other, to be with each other. So you have different points to explain like this. Okay, so when in comparison, we think it would be much more better on the rural or the suburban areas compared to the busy city life. The next one. Do you think parents should teach children how to cooperate with others? If so, how? So, let's see how the answer can be. Yes, I believe that parents play a vital role in teaching children how to cooperate with others. Cooperation is an important life skill that is needed in a wide variety of contexts, such as in the family, at school, in the workplace, and in the community. Children, they learn by example. So when parents demonstrate cooperation and collaboration in their own relationships and daily activities, children will learn how to do the same. Parents can also provide opportunities for children to practice cooperation by setting up games and activities that require teamwork. Additionally, parents can teach children the importance of listening to others' ideas and opinions, compromising and taking turns. So yes, definitely this question is going to have a yes from everyone. Most probably, okay? Because parents should teach children how to cooperate with others. We live in a society. So yes, we need to, team up with everyone. We need to have a close-knit connection with the close ones, or at least our neighbors, to have a good survival point. So cooperation is a very good thing that you need to have in your life. So parents can set an example about how they do it. So right from the young childhood, when they see or when they look up to their parents and see how their parents are taking care of everyone and being cooperative, they will also get a sense of cooperation. They will also feel like, yes, we have to do it. They will understand the sense of it. So that is how the parents can share or teach them the value of cooperation and being helpful and together with everyone. So for which they can be role models, they can showcase it, the kids will observe them, or they can collaborate the children with some activities as we have seen in the sample answers. They can be camping, they can be daily activities. Okay, so all these things, especially building teamwork, all these things will definitely teach all the children the value of cooperating with others and how it will be to work in a team. Okay, so this is a sample answer for this question. So I hope these things are clear to you guys. That's the end of part 3 discussions as we have planned for this particular live segment today. So we saw a part 2 with the sample answer, and we discussed a couple of questions for part 3 along with the sample answer. So I hope you guys got an idea about, okay, if this type of questions or these types of questions are asked for the exam, you have an idea about what you can say. Okay, what are the words that I can try to incorporate and try to include in my speaking test. Okay, so make sure you note all these points and you're ready with your one-to-one sessions. Okay, so yes, that's all for today. I hope it was helpful. So I'll be seeing you guys next Wednesday at the same time. Until then, take care. Have a great day.